There was time I couldn't make a single decision without overthinking what everyone else would think about it. What if they're disappointed? What if I come off as selfish? What if I just mess it up? It was like I had this invisible script I didn't remember agreeing to. Be helpful, be nice, don't rock the boat, stay small, smile more. And even when no one was asking it of me, I was still performing. If you've ever felt like you're playing a role in your own life, this episode is for you. I'm Sandy Bartlett, and this is Journey to Self Power Beyond People Pleasing. Did you catch that? Title change. Yes, plot twist. This month, I'm doing something a little different. I've created a brand new quiz. Some of you may have seen it, but if not, it's called What's Your People Pleasing Persona? And in this series that kicks off today, we're unpacking the real reason we fall into these roles, what they're protecting, and how we begin shifting them. And yes, they are roles, they're patterns. It's not who we really are. But it all starts here with the truth that you are not broken. You are brilliantly patterned. Before we dive into this conversation, I pulled a card for us and I pulled the Two of Cups from the Light Seers Tarot deck. Now, the Two of Cups is often seen as a card about partnership and connection. But today, I want you to hear it a little differently. This is the moment where you begin to create a new kind of partnership with yourself. Not the version of you who's been performing, pleasing, or adapting, but the version beneath the pattern. The real you who's been waiting to be seen, heard, and honored. This card is your reminder. Healing isn't about fighting the old pattern. It's about reconnecting with who you've always been underneath it. And that's exactly where we're heading in today's episode. People often come to me asking, why do I keep doing this? Why do I keep shrinking, giving, smiling, agreeing, pleasing? And the question under that question is always, is something wrong with me? The answer, my friends, is no. You're not too much. You're not too sensitive. You're not failing at boundaries. You're simply responding to something very old and very wise inside of you, a survival pattern. Maybe it started with trying to keep the peace in your household or being the reliable one in a chaotic family or being praised only when you achieved. The truth is, many of the women I work with have been playing roles their entire lives, not because they wanted to, but because it felt safer than showing up fully. That's why I created the quiz, not just to give you a fun label, but to help you name the role you've been playing and begin the process of coming home to who you are underneath it. There are 5 personas in the quiz: the chameleon, the caretaker, the peacemaker, the performer, and the ghost. And I'll be exploring each one over the coming weeks. But today, we start with something deeper. The moment you realize you've been living from a pattern and how that realization shifts everything. Here's my personal story. I didn't always know I was a chameleon. In fact, I wore that role like a badge of honor. I was adaptable, reliable, professional, calm. I could walk into any room and match the energy, the expectations, the unspoken rules. But there was this moment. I was in one of my HR roles, walking down the hallway, totally lost in thought. A couple of coworkers said hello, and I didn't respond. Not out of rudeness, just distraction. I didn't even realize they had spoken to me. So that moment got reported and it ended up escalating. And eventually I was pulled aside and told I was being perceived as cold, standoffish, unapproachable. And instead of defending myself, I did what I always did. I apologized, I adjusted, smoothed it over. And then I started scanning every hallway. I made eye contact with everyone, gave a warm smile, spoke first, matched energy, avoided missteps. But what I didn't realize until much later was that I had taken on this unspoken job to be exactly who everyone needed me to be at all times. And in doing that, I had no idea who I really was anymore. That was the crack, the opening, the moment I started to realize I was patterned and I could choose differently. I want you to think about something for a moment. Where in your life are you still following a script you didn't write? Are you still playing the calm one, the helpful one, the perfect one? Are you disappearing in conversations, overcompensating at work, saying yes just to be liked? These aren't flaws, they're roles, and they began as protection. But protection isn't the same as connection. And when you begin to recognize your role, you begin to reclaim your truth. So here's the quote that I've been holding close lately. You can't heal what you can't name. So let's start naming it with love, not judgment, because naming the pattern is the first step to changing it. Here's your gentle invitation for today. Take the people-pleasing persona quiz. It's short, powerful, and surprisingly clarifying. You'll get an instant result, a transformational insight, and the option to go deeper with me if you choose. The quiz link is in the show notes. And if your result hits home and you're ready to unpack it, you can also book a free 30-minute Awaken the Shift session with me. No pressure, just space to breathe, to be seen, and start moving forward. Next week, we begin our deep dives into each of the personas. I've already shared with you that I am a chameleon, and I'll be sharing my journey as the chameleon and what it took to stop blending in and start belonging to myself. If you've ever felt like you've lost your voice or your sense of self, this next episode is for you. And until next time, be true to you.